Hello, I'm James Williams, and over the next 4 sessions, I'm going to be looking at the environments in which we live and discovering how we can take inspiration from our surroundings to make music. Together, you and I are going to go through the process of composition from beginning to end. It's okay if you want to work by yourselves, with your family, or if you want to work with friends by sharing files. All you're really going to need is a way of making sound and a way of recording it. Today, I'm going to be talking you through one of the problems that has beset composers throughout the ages, and that is getting started. So, here I am in my garden. To be honest with you, I don't often think about music here. I'm more inclined to feel inspired by, walking by the sea or up a mountain. But today I'm going to concentrate on this space, and I'm going to try and squeeze some music out of it. Now, some of you will have heard of composer John Cage's seminal piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds. You'll have to bear with me, because I am going to talk through it now with everybody. And then, I'd like you to perform it yourselves, in your garden. Cage has composed the work in 3 movements. The sheet music says, Movement 1, tacet, which is musician talk for don't play your instrument. Movement 2 is also tacet. Movement 3, tacet. He goes on to say that the title of the work is the total length in minutes and seconds of its performance. For its premiere at Woodstock on the 29th of August 1952, the 3 parts were 33 seconds, 2 minutes 40 seconds, and 1 minute 20. It was performed by pianist David Tudor, who indicated the beginnings of the parts by closing, the endings by opening the piano lid. The work, though, can be performed by any instrumentalist or combination of instrumentalists and lasts any length of time. I hope that makes sense. So, get outside, grab a stopwatch and an instrument and get ready to put it down. Today I'll be not playing the flute, and for this performance, let's recreate the timings of the original. I'll put them up on the screen for you to see, and please have a go. I'll be really interested to see what you discover. Congratulations! You've just participated in a performance of a very well-renowned piece of music. And it's interesting, I guess Cage is asking the question, what exactly is music? I was always taught that music was organised sound. But Cage seems to point to the idea that music is organised listening. What do you think? But what did you discover from your organised listening? Personally, I could hear the gentle purr of traffic which comes from a major road which is about 2 fields away. It's not too present, but it's constant. It can be mistaken for the wind sometimes, or maybe even the sea. There's certainly a road at the end of the garden and a couple of cars went past. The dog decided to come and join in at one point. My neighbour, I could hear him walking. I could hear somebody angle grinding down the road on the other side. There were certainly birds, not as loud as they can be here. And also the wind. It's quite gentle at the moment, although you're probably hearing it more on the microphone. Now what we're going to do now is see how we might take something like the 4 minutes 33 that we've just heard and notate it so that we can start making our own music for it. Because of course, what we're looking for today is good ways of starting. Now I'm going to be using manuscript paper to write out my music. Let's have a look. Garden. In 4 minutes and 33 seconds. You don't have to use manuscript paper, you can use any paper that you've got. But it's useful to know that when we're writing music, this direction represents time and this direction represents pitch. So if we're going up, then the sound is going up. We're going down, the sound is going down. And if we read horizontally. Okay, so I'm going to write out my instruments. Da, da, da. I know at the bottom I'm going to have that traffic. I know that probably the next lowest sound would be the local traffic. The highest noise would definitely be the angle grinder. Bird song. Wind. Neighbour. Dog. Okay, these are my instruments. Now, how am I going to write out this? I know that I've got traffic, and that's going to be quite constant. Might go up, might go down a little bit. Dun, 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 dun. We've got local traffic, and I think we're probably looking at 3 cars, and they start quite quietly. And a third. Okay, the dog arrived about halfway through and she's chewing away. We've got my neighbour who turned up at the end. I could hear him. He's scraping around. Let's put him more as a block, I think. the wind, birdsong, intermittent, and angle grinder. Okay, I think I'm fairly happy with that as a sketch. Obviously, I'll go back and listen to the recording and see whether I can glean any more detail. But I'm just going to show you how that might sound. So I've started to have a little play around with my graph, see how it actually feels as a piece of music. And it's interesting because actually what I've got here is great because it's full of sound, but what it doesn't tell me is about the light and the general impression of being in my garden. And that's something I'm going to have to work on as I start to create a little bit more detail. So what I'd like you to do is, for our next session, try and make a good graph that you really can believe in, that you've got, that you think really represents your 4 minutes and 33 seconds. And then we'll find a way of allowing the visual to be present in this, and then we'll see how you can translate this into music. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.